This is the Impulsive Thinker Podcast, a show for high-achieving ADHD entrepreneurs. Together, we will inform and educate you about how to improve your self-awareness while developing systems, routines, and habits for conquering the entrepreneurial world. Here is your host, Andre Brisson.
Hey there. Today, I'm following up on the conversation I had with Dr. Kenny Handelman, where we discussed borderline personality disorder and ADHD. And this has more to do about a couple points that we discussed in our conversation that I really want to make light and for us to really be aware of. And it was his conversation about personality, which was a really great thing that he actually, personality has to do more about your patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. It has lots to do with attitudes, your moods, and traits that, it's your identity. It's how you're going to react in certain things. What do people know you? How do they know you're going to react? And it's both affected by genetics, environmental factors, and it's also personality is really how you see and perceive the world around you and how you react to it. And like I've always been telling people, environment control is one of the ways we can manage the ADHD symptoms, manage any of our mood dysregulations. And that's for everyone, not just ADHD people, about mood dysregulations. So since environment, I think to a certain part, genetics has an effect on our personality, but I guarantee you environment has a high percentage of that effect. Just like with borderline personality, a lot of they're saying a lot of borderline personality disorder causes is believed to be a result from a combination of genetic, environmental, social factors such as childhood trauma or genetic predisposition. So anyway, the genetic predisposition, that's a whole different topic for another day, but childhood trauma, environmental, social factors. Some of your genetics, I agree. But remember, genetics has a lot to do with epigenetics. We have a lot of genes in us that are not doing anything until the environment engages them. Epigenetics. So it comes down to environment. So our personality is our personality, and I truly believe this myself, is because of how we perceive the world around me. The way I perceive it, the way I see the world as it is right now, I have a personality that protects me somehow. I'm a fighter. I fight to protect myself. Well, a lot of people fawn. A lot of people freeze. We all have different ways. It's still personality, but it's all dictated from our past and the environment. And with his conversation where he said DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, is a great tool to help us with this. Just like we were talking with Dr. Alexandra Phillipson about DBT, these are about creating skill sets that we can assertively stand up for ourselves, assertively engage boundaries to protect us, because we have the right to be protected ourselves. No one has the right to stomp on our mental health, on our happiness, and guilt us and shaming us not to succeed. So environment control is very, very important. Sometimes it just means putting up boundaries and barriers with the people. And if you're very lucky that they'll respect that, that's great. Sometimes you need to change your environment, physically move, have the people, change of friends, even family. And I'm pausing there because even family may not be the right environment for you at that time. You can go back later once you've taken care of yourself and you've actually got the confidence and the skill set to be able to deal with that. But environment is key. Just like the one analogy I use is if you go into a jungle, you're in 2 acres of the jungle, fenced out, and there's 40 lions in there. That environment, will you not be anxious, frightened, jumpy? Every time you hear a cracking, a cracked branch, aren't you going to turn around and either lunge out in that noise to scare it away or freeze and fawn and cower? you're in a dysregulated environment. The environment's making you not safe. So your brain and your mental health is protecting you somehow with these mental health disorders. But what if now you're at the zoo and you're looking at the same 40 lions, but behind a glass wall, which is a barrier, or maybe there's a fence where there's a boundary because there's a big distance between them and the moat. What's your mental health condition there? What is your emotional competency there? A hell of a lot better because it's a different environment, an environment that's safer for you. So we have to create that for ourselves. Are you in the negative environment? Why are you still there? Doesn't matter because they're family. Doesn't matter because it's your business. Doesn't matter because it's your business partner. Doesn't matter because it's your spouse. If it's a negative environment, why are you still there? It is eating you away. It's creating a personality that you don't like and other people don't like. So why do we keep putting ourselves in these situations and conditions? I'm not saying it's not easy to get out of it. It's very tough. I'm still struggling with a couple of my environments right now. But I got to stand up for me. I got to change the environment. Now I finally came to a conclusion. It's an environment change I need, not an environment modification. Those are two big things. But I tried to modify the environment. I tried to put boundaries and barriers in place, but it's still coming back to bite me. Therefore, now I need to change the environment. Now, either the environment changes, which I don't think it will, or I have to change the environment, meaning I have to physically go. So, having that said, it's a process. We don't get all the answers right away. We got to try. We got to experiment. But at least that we tried. And in the end, you have to put yourself first. You have the right to be treated like an individual. You have the right to be treated like with respect. And you are allowed to be treated like a person that means something to others. If you're around people that don't like you for who you are, change the environment. Change the clientele. It's not easy. Guilt, shame, habit. I never realized my first job I went to was the same environment I just moved out of from my childhood home. And I knew it was the same type of environment, but I was comfortable. I knew how to survive there. So I went in there knowingly because it was comfortable. Is this making sense to you? Just because it's it's comfortable to be there, but if it's still a negative environment, we got to make that leap because it's scary as hell to go into an environment that's very supportive and productive for you. Trust me, I'm on the other side of the chasm right now, but it's very hard to me to go there because there's such a it's the right thing. That's the right people you want to be around. But I was not used to being around such a positive environment that was supporting me, that was saying, stop doing stupid things because you're doing it for the wrong people. It's uncomfortable for me because now I got to change. I got to accept that I deserve these people in my life. I deserve this extra happiness. I deserve this success. But it was very comfortable back there because I don't know how to handle myself in this new environment, the positive environment. It's foreign to me. But luckily, I got a good group of people over the last year. They're helping me through it. People behind me are really knocking me down. They're really using guilt and shame to keep me down. But I have to turn that back. It's comfort. It's easy to go back there because I know how to handle the environment at my expense. Remember that, at my expense, at your expense. So why do we keep doing this at our expense? If you got the answer, please let me know. I'm sorry if this seemed to be all over the place. It's environment. Everything has to do with the environment that we're surrounding ourselves with. And environment has a lot to do with barriers, boundaries, rules of engagement, so that you are treated for the person you truly are, someone special and valuable. The ADHD transformation program has launched and it's working. Clients are saying it's changed their lives and I am their ADHD hack. So go to tacticalbts.com/ATJP for more information. I want you to join and learn your own ADHD vocabulary and to learn that you're not stupid and we can make you work effectively.
Thank you for listening to the Impulsive Thinker podcast. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for the show, please visit theimpulsivethinker.com. The Impulsive Thinker podcast is produced by Tactical Breakthroughs and hosted by Andre Brisson. Remember, ADHD is only a part of you, not all of you.